this course so that it's clear to our insurance company that everybody understands what the rules are the hours that the range is open. Right now in the winter, the hours are 10 a.m. to an hour before dark, Monday through Saturday. 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sunday. This is for our neighbors, okay? The summer hours, and they change when we go back to regular time from daylight savings. The hours will be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Sunday. This is one of the places where we do have infractions in the rules. People come to the range, are shooting prior to 10 a.m. or after 7 p.m. That's a no-no. Please be careful. The rules are listed right up here with the hours. So if you have any questions, check the rules. They're listed here. They're also posted at the pistol range and downstairs in the clubhouse. So if you have any questions about whether you're doing something right or wrong, just look at these rules. They're all there. Nothing beyond that is illegal, okay? Always make sure that the firing line is closed before you go down range. And when I say closed, make sure it's cold. When the range is cold, all long guns will be stacked in an upright position. There's notches in the benches where you can stack your firearms. There's also a rack over here. I got my things on. That you can place them in. Action open, chamber empty. This is before anybody goes down range. Make sure also that you don't handle any firearms when the range is cold. Don't go adjusting your scopes or, checking the gun or seeing if there's a malfunction. Wait till the line goes hot again before you pick up your firearms. And when I say all firearms stacked in an upright position, rifles, chamber empty, clip out, action open. Pistols over at the pistol range, automatics would be chamber empty and clip out, action open. Revolvers, chamber empty and the cylinder open. They're placed either on the bench in front of you or behind you, okay, before anybody goes down range. Always point your firearms in a safe direction. This is common sense. Don't go turning on the line like this. When you come up to the line, make sure you're holding your firearm in an upright position, pointing down range before you start to shoot. Do not shoot at any targets that aren't yours. All of the positions are going to be numbered 1 through 20. We have 20 positions here on the rifle range. I'm not sure, John, what are the positions on the pistol range? How many do we have?
Well, we haven't figured that out yet.
Okay. That'll be determined in the future, and they'll be in small areas where there'll be walls on either side of you, so your rejects or your ejects won't go into the person standing next to you. When I say don't shoot at any targets that aren't yours, the targets are going to be numbered according to what the benches are numbered. There'll be positions 1 through 20. At 25 yards, you'll see a 1 through 20 all the way across. 50 and 100, the same thing. So if you're shooting on position 20, you'll see a 20 wherever you place your target. Okay? That's where you put it. And there's little stands, metal stands in the ground there that the target frame goes into. Target frames are kept right here, and this is unlocked for anybody that needs to get a target frame. These are what you're going to be using. We shoot at paper here. These go into the ground. You place your target on this. If the cardboard is all shot up, there's plenty of spare cardboard up in the top. Just remember to bring your staple gun so you can staple it to it. Place that out at whatever distance you want and shoot at the target according to what position you're shooting at. Don't cross shoot across the other side or vice versa. If you'll notice out at the 100-yard line, we have 2 gongs out there. There's one over on the left and one on the right. If you're shooting on the left one, you want to be over on the left. If you're shooting on the right one, the same thing, be over on the right. Don't cross shoot across the line. Only range-approved targets are used here, okay? No glass bottles, no cans, no TV sets, computers, beat-up cars, etc. No ground targets, nothing that's going to skip on the ground. No explosive targets. The target frames are to be used as such. Don't shoot up the target frames. I know they get hit occasionally, but we've had people cutting them in half, and that's, you know, grounds for dismissal. If you're going to sight in your shotgun for turkey season, to pattern it.
So if you want to pattern your shotgun, you can use this target here at the pistol range, only for patterning though. If you're going to do slug shots, you want to be at the rifle range.
Please bring your own target frame. Make sure that it's at least 5 feet tall so you're not shooting down at the ground. We're trying to avoid skips. We have a 25-foot berm out there, and these target frames are designed so no matter what position you're at, whether you're on the bench, offhand, prone, sitting, kneeling, they will all hit the berm. Just watch where your rounds are going and make sure that you see that you're hitting into the berm and not going above it or skipping on the ground. Please pick up your empties when you're done. We have buckets available for brass. If you don't reload, throw your brass in those. Clean up as best you can. I know sometimes 22s are hard to catch. We have a club member that devised a little catch-all for his rejects or his ejects. And all it is a stovepipe elbow set on a pipe, and they go right down into that so he can collect them all up and dump them in the trash when he's done. Cost you about $7 at a hardware store, so if you want to do something like that rather than buy an expensive net type that they have at Cabela's and places like that, it's a cheap fix to catch your empties. That's just a recommendation, that's not a requirement. Remove all your trash when you're done. Also, if you have any misfires, over on the door there, you'll see a little PVC pipe. That's got a chemical in it. Dump them in that, please. We had a youth day here, and kids were picking up live 45 rounds over at the pistol range. And that's all they need to do is go to school and say, hey, I got this over at Buxton Hollis Rod and Gun Club. So just be careful of that. If you have any misfires, just dump them in the receptacle there.
There's one at the pistol range also.
Yes, there's also one at the pistol range too. When you're done shooting, return all your target frames to the target shack here so that they're available for the next people that come to shoot. It's just a courtesy.
Clean your targets off too.
Yes, if you can. Make sure that you, if the cardboard's all shut up, you can take the cardboard right off too and then dump it into the trash. Like I said, we have plenty of cardboard so that there'll always be something for someone to put on clean, especially when you're sighting in and you want to see where your rounds are hitting. You may be hitting the cardboard. You want to know that those are your rounds and not somebody else's. When there's no assigned range officer, in other words, when we're not having a sanctioned shoot here, you become the range officer. There's other people here, talk to them and say, who wants to do this? Who wants to call the line hot and cold? This way here, everybody can follow that person's guidelines. And this way here, there's no accidents. As members, you're allowed 3 non-member guests that can come with you. However, they are your responsibility. You have to stay with them while you're on the firing line or while you're on the range here and the pistol range. Don't go over to the pond fishing or go out and get a coffee or anything like that. Make sure you stay with those people at all times, and they must also adhere to all the rules. No drugs or alcohol are allowed on the premises whatsoever. First of all, we don't allow full automatic weapons. No bump stocks or anything like that. Anything that's going to fire at a rapid rate. Try and keep your rounds down to a minimum if you can. 10 to 20 rounds a minute rather than blasting off a 30-round clip out of an AR or an AK. No 50 BMG or greater. If you know what 50 BMG is, 50 Browning machine gun, it's a huge round. It packs a hell of a wallop, and it'll tear the berm up in no time. So anything less than a 50 BMG is allowed, okay? No M79 grenade launchers, 106 recoilless rifles, or Ma Deuces or anything like that. Always wear hearing and eye protection. This is for your own safety. If you've been shooting as long as I have, you'll be as deaf as I am. Okay, so remember that it's important to take care of your eyes and ears, and also other shooters here do the same. When you come to the range, wear your badge. If anybody should ask to see it, please don't be offended. We don't know everybody in the club. It's just so that we don't have non-members coming in and using the range. It's happened in the past. We just want to make sure that, and if you see somebody and they don't have a badge, kindly ask them just that they have to leave. Okay, this is for club members only. This facility was built by the members of the club for your use. This is your range. So treat it as such. Treat it like you would your own house. Okay? Are there any questions?
I have one. As
Yes.
far as this sign is concerned, about long guns only. What if you want to sight in a hunting revolver?
Hunting revolvers, anything 7.5 inches or greater can be fired on the rifle range. Anything less than 7.5 inches, you have to use the pistol range. Right now, that's a policy, but it can be changed, okay? We didn't put it into the bylaws, we just made it a policy so that in the future, if we find that, I know a lot of, I myself shoot a 29 Smith & Wesson Silhouette. It's got a 10 and 5/8 inch barrel. That would be fine here. However, on the pistol range, anything less than 7.5, anything greater than 7.5 here. There's a lot of ARs out there now that they consider an auto pistol. And the barrel length is greater than 7.5 inches, you can shoot it here, okay? Also calibers too, remember your calibers. The pistol range is designed with a metal flip target out there. We have one of those if you want to use it. If you have one of your own and you want to use it, please put it at the recommended manufacturer's distance away from you, okay? We've had people 10 feet shooting it, and the ricochets can hit just about anywhere. So be very careful of ricochets on things like that. Also, as far as moving your targets, always move your target towards you. Don't move towards your target. The firing line is closed off here, so you really can't walk out there. However, we do have an opening there and an opening here. No one goes beyond the firing line. Bring your target toward you. And we also have free stands in there that you can set a target in if you want to shoot it at different distances other than 25, 50, or 100 yards. Okay? So keep that in mind. Bring your target toward you. Don't move towards your target. That applies also to the pistol range.
So this is our portable stands. If you want to shoot in between the 25 and 50 or the 50 and the 100, just put the frame into the base and set it down where you're at.
If you're here, leave the gate open when you come. Do not close it behind you. If EMTs have to get in here, seconds count. So make sure that that gate is open, and when you're done, the last person out will close it and lock it. When you lock the lock, put it so that the word master is facing the road. If you put it in on the left-hand side, the word master will be facing you. Make sure that when you lock it, you have the combination in there before you lock it, and then change the combination or it won't lock, okay? Also, the numbers don't go in the middle. They go at the top, all right? We've had people call us and say, I can't get in. Did you change the combination? No, you're just putting them in the wrong spot, all right, John, you know? All right, so anybody that, you know, has a problem with that lock, make sure that just the numbers are at the top there. The numbers on the combination will not change from this year until April. Okay, so what you have for last year still applies until April of this year. And then after you've had this course, Jeffrey will give you the new combination so that you can use it. If you're a provisional member, you just came to the club, you'll have an orange card. If you don't have a lanyard for it, keep it in your wallet. Okay, so that if anybody should ask you, you can show it to them. And once again, don't be offended. We just don't know everybody, so we're trying to get to know everybody, but we've got over 300 members now, so it's growing. And once again, like I said, this is your range, so take care of it. It'll be here for a long, long time. We'll get a lot of good use. We're going to have a lot of shoots this year. Military, black powder, 22s. We have the President's Cup. All of these things are here so that you can come and enjoy the sport. Make sure that before you come to the range, check the website. If you have a computer, just hook up the website, look at the calendar, see if there's anything going on. This year we had a lot of work going on here, so the range was closed frequently. Before you make a trip from great distances, make sure that you just check to make sure that the range is open. And unless there's something listed there, it's considered open, okay? Are there any other questions? Okay. You guys are all set. Thank you.
One small comment too.
Yes,
is
John.
If it's raining out, muddy, don't drive in, because it causes ruts and stuff.
Yes.
Especially this time of year when I'm plowing. I plow the yard and everything.
You can park within the driveway though, can't you, John?
Yeah.
Where it's
Yeah.
at least firm. I mean, if you see yourself sinking in, back out. Don't come in that way, because springtime here, yeah, we do get a lot of mud. And now you can see we've got a lot of ice from those rainstorms we had. So be very careful on the ice here. And just make sure that, you know, you use common sense. You know, don't rut up the yard. If you have to, you can just park either in the driveway there or across the street and walk your gear over. Okay? Any other questions? Nope. Okay, folks, you're all.